cheers. We have pumpkin spice coffee because it's October 24th, of course.
Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel at least twice a week, and then movie reviews or book to movie content here at the weekend. In the description box below you will find all of my social links, including my blog and my Goodreads, so you can keep up with my reading in between times. Today I am bringing you my Dewey's 24-hour readathon reading vlog. So I did think about this and then I didn't do it. I should have done my coffee machine last night, because I could either have just set it up and then pressed go this morning, or I could have put it on a timer and then it would have been ready and I would have woken up to the smell of coffee. And I did think about it and then I just never did it, because this face isn't pretty. That 6 o'clock alarm this morning was painful. This coffee is much prettier. I see it's like nearly 6:30. I'm like, I've started the first few pages but haven't really read anything significant because it took me so long just to fill the coffee machine. But that's okay. I also, do you know what else I should have done? Is I should have had a bigger cup. Mind you, getting up to go to the coffee machine again totally counts, and my watch will thank me for it. It won't be screaming at me to get up, so there you go. I also have one of my pumpkin spice bookmarks here. I think if you've been following for a while, you'll know that my little magnetic pumpkin spice bookmark ended up getting returned to the library. Never a good thing, but we're ready to go with multiple bookmarks, because let me tell you what we're gonna think about reading. My top also says, I need coffee and a donut, and if I wasn't covered in 2 blankets, you would be able to see that my pajamas have the donuts on. They are separate sets, but this was bought separately, and then the bottoms were from TJ Maxx, like my pumpkin spice coffee ones, but they are spooky donut pajamas, which I think I've shown in another vlog. Anyway, I am going to be hoping to read, this is When I Come Home Again by Caroline Scott, and you can see I've got my Elisa J Designs bookmark on there if it'll focus on it. It's not focusing on my face. The Jack Skellington one, which I know means that I'm going to want to watch A Nightmare Before Christmas, and then this one is McCood Scribes one. I will link them both in the description box below, but this one is historical fiction, which, as you know, I don't get on with unless I get really into, so I was kind of saving it to read all at once anyway. This one comes out on Thursday, so today could not be a better day, and I have read the first chapter, which is why I have a bookmark in it. I just read that first chapter whilst the coffee was brewing, which is impressive considering the fact that it is 6:30 in the morning. Then, because I always want to have an audiobook on the go as well, I have my audiobook for The Mall by McCafferty, which I don't know a whole lot about. I was totally attracted to the cover. It's so shiny because it's a library book. I can't get it so it's not shiny. There you go. There's me in the camera. But yeah, I do have the audiobook for this one. And then I know you know from my last reading vlog, I've been wanting to pick up I Hope You Stay by Courtney Pepperell, and I was going to pick it up and then I couldn't find any tabs. I'm like, I must have a supply of tabs somewhere, but I searched all my stationery drawers. I've got some notebooks on the bookshelf here, thought they might be in there. No, because I know I bought some because there was some in the supermarket that were reduced, so I picked those up, but maybe I just used them all, I don't know. So I popped in the other day and bought myself a whole pack. Again, it's so shiny. A whole pack of multicolored tabs. This is like a mint and this is a blue, even though they look the same color in this light. But so I have no excuse not to read that one yet. So if I need a little break from historical, possibly people dying and stuff, I've got that one. And then I also have the new Christmas novel from Lucy Knott on my Kindle. My Kindle I left in the bedroom, so we're not going to be reading that until at least Ollie's up. but we have 24 hours. So this one is a chunky one though. But if I, again, want to turn to something slightly lighter, I've got my audiobook, I've got my poetry, I've got my Kindle book. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, this one is 470, don't worry, I'm not reading the text, 482 pages. So 482 pages of World War One, soldier with complete memory loss, 3 women who claim him as their own, who's telling the truth. I feel like if I enjoy this Caroline Scott, I'm also going to be wanting to pick up the new Rachel Hoare sooner rather than later, but I don't know why I'm holding a bookmark as well. We'll put that down. And just FYI, as well as my coffee, I also have my water. Don't worry, we have both. And again, I've used the smaller one so that I will have to get up and go and fill it up. So then I'm getting up, and because it's very cold this morning, it's -3 centigrade. I do have 2 blankets right now. I have my Enchanted Fandom blanket going on from one side, keep me completely like vacuumed in, and then on the other side I have my classic grey penguin blanket, which blends into my pajamas. So yeah, so we're going to do some reading and then I will update you as to where we are from there. So far we have nice short chapters in this book, so I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. We've also just pulled into Oxenholme train station, so I am enjoying the Lake District setting. Spent more than a couple of October half terms in the Lake District, and I have also travelled there a couple of times to meet my family by getting the train to Oxenholme. So there you go. I'm liking that so far. And they just had a cup of tea in like a cup and saucer, and I'm like, oh, I don't want this coffee, I want a cup of tea in a cup and saucer. So I just refilled my coffee and also my water. I am on page 64. We just had our first kind of like war scene, like it was just a little snippet, like a flashback type thing. But yeah, obviously I'm not such a fan of like wars in books, but in general, the place where they've taken the soldier to deal with his amnesia is a little bit like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest-esque. There's lots of different people there with different problems, so I'm intrigued to see where that's going. It's moving at quite a pace so far as well. I think it just took me a little while to kind of sit down and get into it. It's now 8 o'clock, so we're 2 hours into the readathon, so I feel like I probably should have read more than 64 pages by now, but I did get up and get more coffee and more water, and it's now light outside. If this had been last Saturday was a lot warmer than this Saturday, and so we could have like gone and sat outside under our blanket reading and watched the sunrise, but this Saturday it's not happening. Yes, I didn't put pumpkin creamer in this one. I just did like a plain like oat non-dairy creamer, so it's less pumpkin-y. Doesn't make a massive difference because it's pumpkin spice coffee anyway. Okay, I've had some breakfast. I poured some coffee over ice in my Halloween cup, so now I'm a little bit buzzing. And whilst eating my breakfast and making my breakfast, I listened to audiobooks. So I'd say, oh, I'm just about halfway through that. It's not very long, so I'm going to stop listening to that and go back to physical book because I'm 25% through that, but I definitely need to switch back to just water, even if we do put the water in the Halloween cup, because I'm a little bit buzzing now. But I had some eggs and an English muffin, and now I'm going to go and get dressed, having brushed my hair and teeth. Okay, I am dressed but still comfy. and this will be great when we go out on our walk after lunch as well. I checked and I am on page 124 of them all. That's why it's good having the audiobook and the physical book here. And I am currently on, I think, almost exactly the same page, like 120 something of When I Come Home Again. And I've moved over here to my little Halloween reading buddies. We've got Halloween Minnie Mouse there, and just generally scary Darth Vader. And I've got my water because, you know, the buzz of the coffee is starting to wear off. I'm just awake enough and not buzzing. But yeah, I feel better for being dressed now and having had some breakfast, and we'll probably have lunch in an hour or so, so I'll get some reading done before then. Okay, a reading sprint has just started, and it is a 15-minute reading sprint. I am on page 141. I will let you know where I'm at by the time we get to the end of the reading sprint. That was good. I read up to page 163, so, you know, still a decent chunk of book left. I think we are going to call some family and then have some lunch. That'll be nice. So I have reached the halfway point of the book. I'm at 244. We have just entered hour 10, so that's cool. I feel like I should have read more by the time I've done 9 hours of reading, but then had some time off for lunch and time off to call family, and I've done some audiobook reading and stuff, so it's not all bad. It's getting quite hard to concentrate in here between the upstairs neighbours and the music outside, because, you know, that's what it's like here at the weekend. And I'm out of coffee and I'm out of water, so I'm going to go refill the water. I'm going to quickly film tomorrow's movie review video, which I will link up above because it will already be up by the time you are seeing this, and then we are going to go out for our walk, and then probably I'll take it a little bit more low-key when we get back. I'll either put on some audiobook or maybe pick up my poetry or maybe have a little nap. We'll see. I was just watching my eye there because it keeps twitching. It's very annoying. But yeah, a little bit more water, film this video, and then we're going to go out and get some fresh air. And it's not too cold today. It's going to start snowing at the minute. It says about 2 a.m, so we'll probably see that together. We are back from our walk. It was lovely, but it did get a little bit chilly towards the end. I think the wind just started to pick up, but as we go into the evening, it's going to head towards snow anyway, so makes sense. And also the sun's going down, so I'm going to read a little bit more some now. We're going to do some cozy reading on my bed. I may take a little nap, I don't know. And then we're going to get some food, and then in true Catriona Readathon tradition, we'll have a bath and do some reading in there and see how long I can last tonight. It's going pretty well so far. And yeah, I would like to, as you know, finish that book during the readathon. I was like, oh, I've got this book and I've got this book, and we're going to read this book and this book. And I'm like, yeah, I just had like 3 hours where I didn't read anything at all. It's fine. And I'm jumping right back in as we're doing a reading sprint, so I am starting on page 244. I will let you know where we are at the end of this 15-minute sprint. So I did 18 pages in that sprint. It is all getting more complicated. It's like it's weaving an even more complex web. Weird lighting there. That's better. Like, you think that you know one thing. Obviously these 3 women, just like it says on the thing, 3 women are all claiming that this guy not belongs to them, but one claims he's her son, one claims he's her husband, one claims he's her brother. And it's interesting because you're like, I really don't think that he's any of these people. And then in the book, they were like, you know, there's a possibility it could be all three. What if he was living this double life? But there's things wrong with like each of them. But all along the way, there's like descriptions of him walking in the garden and drawing these intricate pieces of art, and we're really getting to know him. But are we getting to know the him that he was before he got the amnesia, or are we getting to know the him that he is now? Like, that's a whole thing. But yeah, I think there's more to him than meets the eye, definitely, but it's just getting like more and more complex. Obviously none of these things are spoilers. I just got to page 300. Jack Skellington is so cool, and we just had a bit of a breakthrough, so that's very exciting. I think the pause did me good because, yeah, that didn't take me that long to read those 56 pages. It's not terribly impressive, but less than 200 pages left now. Very exciting. I expect I shall get some more done in the bath later. So we just had such a good dinner. I had a matzo ball soup and we shared a piece of cheesecake. It was so good, so nice. It was exactly what I was craving because it's just so chilly. So I've just done myself another PS coffee, not latte, pumpkin spice coffee with pumpkin spice creamer. We are starting at page 300 and we're going to read some more of this. And then when I feel myself getting like a little bit like fidgety or tired or what have you, then we're gonna go and get in the bath. I haven't listened to any more audiobook, and I've still got my poetry book and my Kindle book, so I can always switch it up, but we're in the home stretch of this one now, so I think we can make it happen for sure. Because it's about a person who's, you know, gone missing, or a person who's been found, whichever way around you look at it. To some people it's one way around, to the other it's the other. In World War I, it just really highlights all these people who never knew that whether their person was like dead or alive, walking around in France somewhere with amnesia. All these people who had to mourn without any like concrete evidence to mourn, or any like, you know, headstone or ashes or, you know, memorial place for them. It's really sad in that sense, and just so many people in that same boat. We are getting to the concluding section, even though we've got like 150 pages left. We're starting to, you know, tie things up. I'm sure there will be other changes, I'm sure there will be other things that happen, but we're getting to that stage. I'm starting to get a little bit like, so I'm going to try and get a little bit more done, then we're going to go and run a bath. It is bath time, the best part of a readathon, or just any day. I need to rest my eyes for a little bit, so we're going to do some audiobook in the bath. And then I just got to page 384 in this, which means I have less than 100 pages left, so I will keep it handy towards the edge of the bath at some point, in case I want to go back to that. But I would also like to finish my audiobook. So I'm going to run the bath. Since we went on that long walk earlier, I'm going to put some bath salts in there. It's going to be lovely. Ease my little aching legs, or my hips today. I think because we were on concrete more than anything, that's probably what it was. And yeah, get back to listening to them all, and then I will update you. There are 7 hours left in the readathon. That's still a decent amount. That's still a pretty decent amount, I think. Yeah. have to go to the window and check whether it has started snowing yet. This is supposed to start right around now. Nope. No sign of snow yet. It's just... it's not even. So when it gets really, really cold, you get the like steam going off the pool. It's not even doing that yet, but it's meant to start in the next hour or so. So I did not finish my book in the bath, but I did finish my audiobook in the bath, and I finished my water in the bath as well. It's my like optimistic thing at the start of the day of like, I've got this audiobook, and I've got this poetry, and I've got this ebook, and then I've got this historical fiction. Like, I'm struggling that, you know, within this 24 hours to have finished the historical fiction, but so that I can try and read the last 100 pages and find out who this man is and who he belongs to and what the mystery is. We're gonna make a cup of tea, we're gonna have a little snack, and then I'll update you. See, I'm not too tired, but you know when you can kind of just feel inside. It is 1:20, and this is the latest I've been up in a long time. It's quite telling, isn't it, as well? Yeah, it's quite telling. I'm sorry, this lighting's always a bit weird, isn't it? Yes, I do keep my earrings on in the bath and with my pyjamas, because my jewellery box is in the bedroom, and I'm not in there right now. Oh, that is a lush cup of tea. Does anyone else make a cup of tea and then they can't just have one cup of tea? Like, generally 2 is good. 2 is good. If I go for 3, then I'm like, I don't always drink the whole of the third one, but I'll literally like chain drink the first 2, so. But if I make another one at this point, I'm gonna have to fill the coffee machine up again, and I can't be bothered with that. Oh, that is just perfect. I am very jealous of everyone in the UK that's having this like biscuit brew, and then everybody's talking about the jam on toast one. I'm not sure I buy that one. The thought of it does make me feel a little bit sick, like just saying it out loud now. I'm like, not sure about that one. Like, I don't mind toast and jam, and I don't mind a cup of tea with it, but to be fair, I'd rather have like toast and banana if I'm having a cup of tea, or toast and peanut butter with the coffee. There's my toast preferences for you. I like my toast rare, whereas I like my crumpets well done. All the preferences. Should we stop gabbing on about things that I can't get my hands on right now, like tea and jam and biscuit brew tea and crumpets, and actually get on and eat my snack that I have brought over and read my book? Should we do that? Yeah, I think so. Well, an hour later and still no snow. Just a little insight for you. I did start reading, and then because of the time difference, it's Mum's birthday in the UK, so with it being 2 a.m. here, the clocks have just gone back there, so it's 8 a.m. there. So we did the opening of her presents on FaceTime, so I had a little break to do that, drank my cup of tea. I think I read 3 chapters between me speaking to you and her saying, we're up now, we can do presents. So it's a nice diversion, but I was feeling quite awake, and I'm feeling less awake now. But we are on page 407, so that means we've got what, 75 pages left. I can't add at 2:30 in the morning, so we'll say it's 75 pages. I will say as well, you can tell it's going to snow because it's got a bit warmer. It's it's -4, but I am feeling warm. But yeah, it was nice to chat to Mum and open her presents with her, although one of the things that I sent her did get broken in the mail, despite being wrapped in bubble wrap, wrapped in like bubble wrap in a box with lots of other things, and like placed with like soft things. And the box had fragile on it as well, so hopefully nothing else that I sent them for Christmas will be broken. Fingers crossed. But you know, the fact that it's just one thing should be okay. Right, let's go back to it. Ramble. Well, it's still not snowing, but I did just finish this book. It is 3:06, so there is still 2 hours left of the readathon. I could sit down and be like, I'm going to read my poetry book, or I'm going to start my Kindle book, but that's not happening. I'm throwing in the towel just now and going to bed. I will probably start my Kindle book at some point in the next couple of days, because it's out right at the start of November, I think. It's definitely a November release. And it's a snowy book, so it'll be appropriate to read it in the snow. So yes, I read all 483 because I read the acknowledgements as well. 483 pages of this for just quite a dissatisfying ending. It's not like it's a bad ending, it just wasn't the ending that I was looking for after 482 pages of like, oh, there's a bit of mystery here, there's a bit of mystery here, and like, oh, what's going on, and who's this going to be, and how's this person going to feed into it? And then, I don't know, it's going to sound bad, but like, maybe we could have like not wrapped it up as quickly as we did. Like, everything started coming to a head, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're going down this other route, and then there's this romance that was kind of not there, but we're gonna like explore that a little bit, and I don't know, it was just a very dissatisfying ending. It's not a bad ending, it just wasn't what I needed at 3 in the morning when I've invested nearly 500 pages. And then my audiobook, The More by Megan McCafferty, YA contemporary, not romance. It reminded me a little bit of Unpregnant, in the sense that, you know, everything's going a little bit wrong for our main character. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong, and maybe she's going to discover a friend that she had once discarded that's going to help her get through this. I like that trope though. It's a good trope, because quite often I'm that friend that's been discarded and you should have kept me around because I'm quite useful. But that one's 307 pages, so just a little bit of difference. But I think that reading, what's that? So if it was 83 pages, 790 pages over the course of a day is pretty good. I know there's still a couple of hours left. I know I wasted a couple of hours walking earlier, hour on lunch, hour on dinner, hour on a phone call to one family member, hour on a phone call to mum just now. So I probably could have fitted in another book if I hadn't done all of those things, but I'm fine. You know, stuff has to be done at the weekend that can't be done during the week, and people have birthdays and we need to go out and get fresh air, and so I'm fine with that. So yeah, we may as well wrap it up here. I am going to go to bed, so make sure you are subscribed so that my next video lands in your subscription feed. It will not have this tired kind of ending. It will have a lot more of an upbeat ending, and I will look a lot better than this because I will have had some sleep. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, but let me know why in the comments. And what was the last book that you binge read? Let me know in the comments as well. Obviously, our sort of YA contemporary is much easier to binge read than nearly 500 pages of historical dissatisfying ending. What was the last book that you binge read? Yeah, I'm going to bed. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you with my next video.